For our listeners who may not know who you are, tell us your story.
I'm Ollie. I go by ElBurritoMonster on social media nowadays, which the reason why that's my username is because it used to be that on PlayStation and no other reason than that. And when I downloaded TikTok to sort of watch other TikToks, I was like, what's my username going to be? I just went for my old PlayStation username.
Yeah.
Eventually ended up making videos on social media, and now that's my full-time job.
I mean, it's a pretty wicked story. You said you had a maths degree as well. How do you go from doing a maths degree to becoming a content creator? Like, it's a pretty crazy turnaround, right?
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's kind of like, you want to do what you're good at and enjoy. I was good at maths, but maybe didn't enjoy it so much. So yeah, I was good at cooking. And then I was like, you know what? Lockdown hit, I was working from home. The job I was working at the time, I'd kind of automated it to the point where I was only really working 2 hours a day. And not that they knew about it.
That's
but
efficient.
There's nothing they can do about it now, but I did all the work, so and more. But yeah, I was able to do most of my office job in about 2 hours a day. I was quite good at computers, so I automated most of the tasks, wrote a few Excels and sort of had all my sheets to do all the work for me. Mm-hmm. And then I had loads of free time working from home in lockdown, April, March 2020. And I just, for a laugh, made a few TikToks and sent them to my friends, and we were all laughing about them. We used to play PlayStation together, so I used to make the videos during the day. We'd go on PlayStation in the evening and just sort of laugh about the video I'd made that day. Mm-hmm. And after making a few of them for my mates, one of them went well, at the time it felt like it was viral. I wouldn't consider it viral now, but at the time, 100,000 views. I was like, that's mental.
Yeah.
Carried on making a few more. Eventually got 300,000 views on another one. Made a few more. Then got 3 million on one.
Insane, yeah.
And then kind of just carried on making videos because it was this is the most exciting thing. The rush of
the adrenaline,
whatever the brain chemicals going on when you're going viral is it's like a high that you're trying to chase. Mm-hmm. Eventually, sort of brands get in touch with you and be like, we notice you get loads of views on social media. Can you put a product in a video? And we'll pay you X amount for it. And you go, yeah, sure. And then I think it was it's about a year and a half ago now. So 2021, around September time, I think, I just started to make more money from social media than my job. It was a little bit risky at the time. It was kind of it was not quite, but almost above it. So I was I wasn't really enjoying my job so much. And I had an opportunity come out of the woodwork of sort of going and living in a content creator house for 3 weeks and sort of making content for this brand. Mm-hmm. And that was a big enough deal that I was going to earn more from that in 3 weeks than I would in over a month of my job. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what, let's make the jump. Let's go do that. Quit my job. I actually asked my work. I said, can I get 3 weeks off work to go and do this? Yeah. And they said no. So I said, here's my notice, and I'll see you later. But the work, they'd seen my TikToks and stuff going viral and stuff, so they all knew what was going on, and they were all well excited for me. My old boss was like, when I had the phone call, she was like, "Oh my god, congratulations!" Yeah. So it was all in good stead. But
it's nice,
made the jump, and I've been full-time content creator for about a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So talk us through those early days. So someone's in their 20s and they kind of want to do something maybe similar to you. It might not be food. I know you make these incredible recipes and creations on TikTok, and every time I watch one, I'm starving after the end of it. But for someone who's kind of wanting to go maybe into that space or kind of understand the mindset of jumping from something that you weren't loving to something that you ultimately love, but you're slowly building up the income from it, can you take us back to your headspace that you were in at that time?
I mean, at first it was purely, it felt like it was for fun. I was making these things and I was just enjoying making them. And at the time I was still sort of applying for other jobs and stuff. I was I had a maths degree, but I was working in supply and logistics, sort of organising lorries around the country effectively. So it wasn't super mathsy. I had friends who were an accountant, software engineers. I was sort of in finance. So I was still applying for those kind of roles. But I didn't do too great at uni. I got a 2-2 because I just didn't really put any work in. So it's a lot harder to get a job in those sort of industries with a 2-2. So I was obviously struggling. I was applying for loads. I started making these videos while still applying for these other jobs. So it was kind of maybe that might materialize into a thing, maybe not. But I hadn't really committed to it as much as I, in hindsight, wish I had done. Mm-hmm. I was still making sort of being super relaxed about it, making the odd video during the working day, posting it, but then still playing PlayStation all evening and sort of drinking too many beers midweek and not really committing as much time to it as I could have. So, in theory, in hindsight, I could have got to where I am now, sort of 9 months faster if I'd actually committed to it or put more effort into it a bit more early. So at the time, I take a relaxed approach, maybe build up a little side thing, and maybe it might materialize. And then when I actually decided to put the effort in is when the numbers started actually really picking up. You know, it started off as the odd viral video, then most of them getting not much traction. And then when I actually started to put the work in and think about the process of video making and how to go viral and how to do this, how to do that, is when it started to actually like, sort of take off for me. So it's kind of like when I decided that I was actually going to put the work into it, hey presto, it starts to materialize into something bigger. But I think putting the work in and just finding your passion, putting it out there, you know, whether it be cooking, whether it be woodworking, whatever it is, just whatever your job is, if you're not super enjoying it and that's not going to be your be all end all, build up some sort of hobby on the side that might be monetizable. It might not be, but either way, if you enjoy it, it doesn't matter if you don't make money from it because you're enjoying it anyway. So
for you then, you said your mindset kind of switched when you did kind of go and do it full time and you started working, it sounds like a little bit more strategic about how you were doing your content. What kind of strategies did you start to learn were really working for you?
Well, I started to make friends in the content creator space effectively. So I sort of met and spoke to people who are in that same field, and we just sort of shared our analytics with each other, said, okay, what's doing well right now? How can we all do better together? So like to this day, two of my best mates in the space are they're two 40, 50-year-old dads who also started making TikToks during lockdown. And now, I mean, I've got 500,000, they've both got over 1 million on TikTok. And we just we've got a group chat where we just chat away. We share all of our brand deals together, like just say, oh, this brand's doing this brand's doing that. Oh, it might be worth getting in touch with this brand to do this. And we'll share our analytics, be like, okay, so there's various things that do well on TikTok. And it's like, are they looking for shareability or are they looking for watch time? The TikTok algorithm switches, whether it prefers shorter content, longer content, shareable content. Obviously the shareable is to bring people to the app so that people will send a link to their friends and their friends will come to the app. But then the watch time is what keeps them on the app when they're there and sort of fulfilling them. So TikTok looks for different things from different creators and working out what the TikTok algorithm wants from you